Hello, today we are watching a brand new channel that's not been featured on School of Scent before, and that is Paragon Fragrances. I do not know this creator. I think I discovered him fairly recently, and it seems like he has excellent production value, and it seems like he's an up-and-coming channel that probably deserves a lot more subscribers. So I thought today we'd put him a bit more on the map if we can with this video. I'm going to be reacting to his video from 1 month ago called Starting My Fragrance Collection Over with $1,000. So sort of, I think the idea is if you had to start collecting fragrances again and had to buy a collection for only $1,000, how would he do it? So it sounds like an interesting concept. Let's watch it together. Make sure you check out our brand, Atrium Fragrance, which is on a mission to promote creativity in the industry. By clicking the link in the description below, you gain access to a free sample as a first-time buyer, as well as exclusive written and video fragrance content by joining our newsletter. Enjoy.
If I had to start my cologne collection over with $1,000, or in America, 2 bags of groceries, these are the fragrances that I would pick.
I guess America must be very similar to here in the UK, because that is accurate for London, for sure.
So I did a previous one to this, the $500 mark. So if you want to watch that one, you can go back and watch that one. But this is what I would do if I had a little bit extra money to kind of blow.
So I like his background. This is quite interesting. He has like a fire and ice thing going on there with the colors. I think it looks really cool. It's nice camera quality, nice lighting. And yeah, $500 or $1,000. I feel like if you want to start a real collection, you need at least $1,000, to be honest. Most nowadays, like fragrances have become more expensive. If you're a collector, an actual collector, you're going to have like 10 to 20 fragrances anyway. So I feel like $1,000 is a more relevant video in my opinion.
Subscribe for the next video. What would I would do if I had $250,000? That would be exciting. I'd buy the entire Lattafa house, the whole company.
I think if you had $250,000, you'd probably just go to Dubai, start up your own fragrance store, and never have to make any fragrance content ever again. You'd be sorted for the rest of your life, I think.
Yves Saint Laurent, I got, stock shares in this. I will own everything. $250,000 doesn't even get you a good house nowadays. It gets you a crack house.
I can tell that there's obviously a lot of economical angst being displayed in this video, which it's true in fairness. I can't deny it. He's got a point. 32% of people who watch School of Scent are subscribed to us. If you guys want to see our channel grow, to really help us out, click subscribe. Let's get that number to 40%. Thank you.
I'm not going to go too far into any details with this. I'm just going to kind of show the notes. So if you're interested at any of these fragrances, let me know. And I'll make an individual review for them. The first one I would totally buy is Jean Paul Gaultier Le Mal de Parfum. And I would buy this like really quickly because it's so great. And if I had $1,000, you have to use it quickly, especially in nowadays economy where it just like disappears. This one is very sweet. It's got like a caramely sweetness behind it, and then it's also got some iris, some woody facets, and it's pretty fresh too.
I'm not sure if I agree with the caramel comment, but overall I agree with that description. Le Mal de Parfum is a spicy, warm, aromatic that overall is balanced but feels romantic, mature and modern. Really, really good scent from the brand. Probably their #1 fragrance at the moment, I think.
This next one it's fantastic and you could wear it to get laid, but most likely you're just gonna be yourself. Vetiver Sensual. You're gonna get sensual with yourself when you're vetivering yourself. That's up. This one is very good though. This one is very fresh. The vetiver in here, the vetiver like sensual name is kind of like, different than.
Yeah, I think I covered this. I'm not sure if I forgot to cover this fragrance in our buying guide, but actually I think I did have a sample of it, and it was more of a clean and like outdoorsy kind of vetiver. Sort of if like Guerlain's vetiver became less smoky, less serious, and became more of an outdoorsy, modern, fresh, everyday scent. So it's not really sensual, as he says. Yeah, it's just more vetiver clean, I guess, is a more appropriate name. I'm not sure if that's French.
The name Vetiver Sensual is not so, it's not so vetiver-y. It's not so like vetiver heavy where you're just like smelling like a dried green grass tumbleweed. This, it's fresh, it's inviting, it's relaxing, it's nice. It's very citrus heavy, like a juicy, amazing citrus. And then the vetiver kind of supports everything. It's kind of, it's nice. It is definitely nice. Clean, fresh, inviting, relaxing, beautiful, and very, did I say stunning yet? I should say stunning. It's stunning. Stunning.
Yeah, I don't think I'd have this in my $1,000 fragrance collection. It's interesting he put it here because it doesn't sound like Paragon is super into it. I don't know, maybe that's the impression I'm getting. I think it's a nice fragrance, as he says, but it's not one of Mancera's best. If you want a fresh and clean fragrance from Mancera, I personally prefer Kumquat Woods, but maybe it's worth trying both of them out if you use one of Mancera's sample set boxes that they do on their official websites.
Nichone's Hashavat is another one I would pick up effective immediately. It's a pineapple oak mossy fresh fragrance. So it's a very fresh, classy man oak moss. Oak moss is very sensual. When you put oak moss on, you smell absolutely irresistible to the opposite sex or to the same sex if you're down that alley. It's a kind of a take on the whole Creed Aventus kind of thing, but it's very much more oak mossy heavy. It's so much more oak mossy kind of stuff going on in there, but it's pretty fresh and inviting. A lot of woody aspects in there to support all that other oak mossy stuff. It is very nice.
So oak moss, I do think, yes, I agree. It's a very handsome fragrance note. It's a very traditional fragrance note that kind of gives a sort of old school slash more mature vibe to fragrances nowadays if you use oak moss heavily. That's probably due to oak moss being heavily regulated nowadays, so maybe that's why modern perfumes use it a lot less now compared to the 20th century of perfumery where oak moss was used in large amounts. People were going crazy with it, and then they found out it's like it's an allergen for everyone and everything, and everyone's dogs as well is allergic to it. I don't know, they kind of just banned this really heavily. So it really depends what kind of oak moss you use. There's different variations of it. There's more allergen friendly oak moss these days, but generally you don't see the note used so heavily like you do in Hashavat, which is quite interesting. I would say Hashavat is like the more mature oak moss heavy version of Aventus, and it's more intense with the pineapple as well. So it's actually, I would say, it's a more niche version of Aventus. If Aventus is more mass appealing, and Nichane Hashavat has a bit more of a niche population as to who will like it, but actually I think I prefer Hashavat nowadays compared to Creed Aventus due to new bottle reformulations of Aventus.
This one, Stronger With You, absolutely. This is a pricey one, and I would love this stuff so much. I love this stuff so much, and I would be buying this instantly. But it is kind of harder to find. It definitely smells expensive, smells super sexy. It's got a chestnut character in here. Very warm, ambery, vanilla, and it smells like Christmas time. It smells fantastic.
Stronger With You absolutely is definitely one of the best from the line, 100%. It's sort of like Azar Most Wanted became a bit more complex. It's sort of like if Azar Most Wanted had a baby with By the Fireplace by Maison Margiela. It's boozy, spicy, warm, inviting. It has this very unique chestnut note that is iconic to the Stronger With You line. So it's a mass appealing evening DNA. I think it's a middle of the range designer fragrance price. I'm not sure, but it depends on your region, of course. I think it's very reasonably priced for what it is. It's going to be loved pretty much from everyone. Like if you like those sweeter oriental scents, you're going to love Stronger With You, absolutely.
Dior Homme Intense. I think this was on my other one, my other list, but Dior Homme Intense absolutely would be bought up instantaneously. And for the most part, like what I would do is I would set a budget. I would set a budget of $1,000, and these are the fragrances that I would get, and then kind of work out the sizes. So I mean, I'd be like, get a bigger bottle of this or a smaller bottle of that, you know, kind of mix it up. But Dior Homme Intense, I would most definitely get a bottle of, absolutely, because it's so fantastic. In the wintertime, it's fantastic. In the wintertime, it's so beautiful. I look at it like whenever it's the first snowy day, whenever that is here in Colorado, whenever that is, I pull out Dior Homme Intense. Absolutely, because it's the snow time fragrance. It's the snow time, the rainy season fragrance.
Okay, interesting. You didn't say much about the scent profile. I wish you'd talked more about the scent itself, but if you don't know what Dior Homme Intense is, it's a more romantic, almost cocoa powdery kind of iris fragrance. Powdery, cacao, warm, inviting, a more romantic take on the lipsticky, powdery iris DNA from the Dior Homme line. Very gorgeous fragrance, nice for the evening. As Paragon's saying, it's good for the cold weather. Yeah, and I'm not sure what about the budget now so far in this video because it's getting very expensive. All these fragrances are pricey. I was wondering if he's going to have like the price tags on screen as he's doing this video, but yeah, hopefully he's staying within budget.
Tom Ford Ombre Leather. I mentioned this one in the other video as well, the $500 video, and this would be the other one I would get too. So I would get a big bottle of it, or the small bottle depending on like how many, you know, which bigger bottle would I want to pick up? I would definitely want to pick up this one for sure. It's like a very warm, cardamom, heavy, leathery, smooth, sexy. It's got some jasmine in there. It's very sexy.
I don't personally get much warmth from ombre leather. It is what I would say fresh for a leather fragrance, which is kind of an oxymoron because leather is quite a heavy note in and of itself. It's a heavy base note, but I would say it is on the fresher, smokier side of leather. To me, it is that note that is supported by all its other characters. I don't really get much of this cardamom. I don't get much warmth. I feel like it's just a general realistic leather fragrance to wear as a signature. It's interesting that he would buy a full bottle in this video, but that means that the budget of this video is going up again. So I don't know if he's staying within $1,000, but yeah, I think ombre leather is a fantastic scent. It is one of the best from Tom Ford. It's a great way to get into leather perfumery.
Acqua di Gio Profumo. And I would probably just pick up the Parfum, the new Parfum nowadays, because it's kind of readily available. But I like this one. It has the magnetic cap. It's the older bottle, but I would pick up a bottle of this. Absolutely. This is so good. This is my 4th bottle of this, and I just love it. I just love it so much. I'd probably pick up the big bottle of this as well because, yeah, it's just fantastic.
Again, I wish he'd go more into the scent profile itself, but Acqua di Gio Profumo is the more dark, mature, more modern version of the original Acqua di Gio with better longevity, fairly soft projection, like soft and medium, I'd say, for the Acqua di Gio DNA. I agree with him. I do think the new Parfum is better, in my opinion. I would personally go for that instead. But Acqua di Gio Profumo is a solid choice in this kind of video. It's a very solid and staple fragrance to have in a collection. It does a lot of things really well. It's a versatile signature.
And then the last one here, Pegasus, of course Pegasus has to be on here because this is just a vanilla, beautiful cloud that I just love, and it brings me back some good memories. So have to get a bottle of Pegasus. I'd probably just buy a small bottle of Pegasus because I don't need all of this fragrance. Now that I'm deep into collecting, I really wish that I did buy the small bottles, like all the 50 ml bottles, because when you get up to this point of fragrance collecting, you're just like, why do I have so much fragrance? It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I completely agree. I think if he's going to stay in the budget of this video, all of these fragrances have to be in the smaller size ranges, because I don't know how he'd stick under $1,000 with some of these niche fragrances in there as well. So I feel like you couldn't get a big bottle of ombre leather, you couldn't get a big bottle of Acqua di Gio Profumo, like you said. He has to get smaller stuff, and I agree with him. I think if you're going to be a collector, you start getting the smaller bottles as soon as you can, because we realize you can't go through all of them. It's just better for you. Trust me, guys. Trust me. Trust Paragon. Get the smaller size bottles for most of your fragrances. I
lost track of how much all this would cost, but I dialed up everything from how much they were from retail and discounters too, and how much I picked them up for, and I just kind of calculated it all together, and it came out to like $995. So what I would do is I would just buy the bigger bottles or smaller bottles and just kind of like, you know, work in there.
Yeah, so great video. I'm not sure how many fragrances was in that list overall. Let me have a quick look. I think there's 8 fragrances in this list overall, which is pretty good. I think that's a good start for a $1,000 collection, and there's a good balance of different styles, designer and niche. I'm not sure if I'd have Vetiver Sensual. I don't agree with that personally. I kind of feel like Hashivat sort of has a similar, I don't know, function to Vetiver Sensual. I don't know. But hey, it's Paragon's list, and I respect that. So yeah, guys, go subscribe to Paragon if you enjoyed this video. Seems like a really cool, casual guy who has nice production value in his videos. If you had $1,000, how would you create your own fragrance collection? Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure to watch our previous video where we reacted to Alex Costa, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.